good afternoon, or it'll be evening by the time you're watching this. My name's Geraldine. This is Jer X Stitches, my YouTube channel about crafty things, primarily cross stitch, a little bit of knitting, random sewing projects. And I'm doing daily videos in the month of December, well, at least before Christmas, because I have some advents that I'm doing. So I am participating in the Evertote Modern Folk Embroidery Roxy Floss Co. Countdown Sale Stitch Along. And so with that, we're opening daily packages of floss and little pieces of the pattern, and then stitching along. So I am also knitting a gnome with Imagine Landscapes Designs. Sarah Shira is the designer. And so every day we get a clue. Some days it's a knitting clue, some days it's a coloring page or a story that kind of goes along with the gnome theme, or other little treats. And then I also purchased the gift pack from the Loopy U that goes along with that gnome knit along. So I guess now it's time to insert the video of me opening the floss. All right, we're gonna go pretty quick this morning. I am running late. It is day 21, time to open our countdown sal. Here is my stitching so far. This is the main section. So I worked on the light and dark green last night. That is Snow Pea and Tenenbaum. When I got done with this, I love this motif. When I got done with it last night, I realized that it needs to be like right underneath the dog needs to be right underneath it. So my dog is in the right spot. Everything else is in the right spot. This is up too high. It's just the way that I counted or referenced here with my Rudolph snowflakes. I had them in the wrong spot. I decided not to pick it out right away. I kind of want to see if I can be creative, and make sure that I can't modify it in some way before I decide to pull it out. So we will see. Okay, day 21 pattern and the color. Oh, so I got figgy pudding, and I was a 40 count, and so I was thinking that there was a good chance, Caroline talked about last night, that some of us received two flosses because they ran out of this color while Caroline and Carrie of Roxy Floss Co. were in England, and so Carrie couldn't like quick whip up anything, and so they did like a color that was close, and then they threw in an extra floss. So I thought for sure, because I know I was in the last group, that I would be in that group, which would be fine, but I lucked out and I got figgy pudding, and it's a really pretty brown color. Okay, so it looks like accents here in the corners of this snowflake with figgy pudding. There's a cute little bird down here, and the heart goes in here, and part of that is figgy pudding, and part of that is Can't Kelp It, which was this medium teal green color that we used a few days ago. And then a little bit more of the figgy pudding around this snowflake as well. And I think one in the center of that one. So I'll have to check close because there might be little, oh, yep, because there's accents in here too of the figgy pudding. So I'll have to kind of turning these almost like connecting the two light greens, figgy pudding connects those in that snowflake motif. So I'll have to check close for little tiny areas that have added accents. But yeah, so this heart is like half of the can't help it, and then half, not quite half. It's a few rows of the can't help it, and then the rest is that beautiful rich raisin brown color. So all right, I'm excited for stitching today. I will talk to you later. I really love the floss for today. It's this brown, but it's got like just, it's raisiny, right? Like it's got just a little bit of like a red undertone to it. It's beautiful. Chocolate ganache is probably the floss closest to it in the Roxy Floss Co line, but like it's not quite as red. Like if you look at them side by side, they're both beautiful colors though. So yeah, I will get stitching on that. I did post a little poll on Instagram today, kind of getting an opinion. By and large, I think it's at like 75% to 25% say to just embrace it. Caroline voted right away from Evertote and said to embrace it. So I'm hoping that that means that she knows enough about what's coming in the pattern that I can modify it and kind of make it my own a little bit. So I think I've pretty much decided I'm just gonna roll with what I have as far as that for this left snowflake in the current motif. Go from there. So we have a pretty busy evening tonight. My puppy is getting spayed, or she got spayed today, so she's been at the vet all day. We can pick her up this evening. I convinced them that I would be more comfortable monitoring her and keeping her chill tonight than like having her like be there kind of overnight alone. And so they're gonna let me pick her up tonight, and then I do have a haircut tonight as well, so like we're gonna kind of like changing of the guard with our events tonight, and then everybody's just really hunkering down, getting ready for this snowstorm that we have coming starting tomorrow afternoon. So they've already like shortened our school day tomorrow, our last day of school, to a half day. People are making plans to work from home if they can, and all those kinds of things. So it will be a really, I think, great weekend. I am very blessed that I live somewhere with, I have good infrastructure. I have a safe home, and we often, knock on wood, don't lose power because we have underground lines close to us. So hopefully all is well. I hope that, you know, we are able to, you know, weather the storm safely as a community. But I'm excited for like a super great excuse to like chill and like stitch and do all of the Christmas things that I need to get caught up, and have like an excuse to like not leave the house. I did that like all last week while I was sick, but I just didn't enjoy it because I wasn't feeling well. So I'm excited to have time that I can actually enjoy. I do have a Loopy U package to open today. It's package 11. It's my second to the last one. Today was a coloring page. So we still don't know what we're doing with our little gnome that's still on the needles. Yeah, but I'll open day 11 now. These are fun. Trying to see if I can see the package name is covered up. So it's by Pretty Warm Designs, and they are imitation leather labels. So they are machine washable. They say made with love. They're meant to be, you know, stitched onto your finished piece. So that's fun. I can put those to good use. Probably not for socks, but I'm sure there's something that I will be able to put those on. So that was a fun addition. Okay, so like I said, busy night tonight, just doing all the things, taking care of my sweet girl. So I will be stitching, and I think if I have any extra time stitching after I'm done with today's Evertote clue, I'm gonna try and get the stocking bands done, or just get as much as I can done on them, so that I can get those sewn, the stockings finished, and like focus on
whatever other cross stitch like I don't need to do, I want to do. Some of the Amazon stuff that I purchased for like the embellishments on the stockings came today. They're still on the front porch. I haven't even gotten that far. So maybe I can show them tomorrow, or once I get them on the stockings. Do have a pile of stuff that I was promising that I would eventually talk about, like plans, or like I have a decent amount of stash, but my immediate stash pile and plans. Excuse me. So of course everyone's talking about this. Not everyone. A lot of people are talking about this. The Modern Folk Embroidery. Sorry, I can't. Everything wants to fall all of a sudden. The Modern Folk Embroidery 2023 SAL. I have the supporting chart packet with the alternative trees, and then the main pattern. I did the math on this. I will put it on the screen when I like do the math again, but I was thinking like this pattern, it's beautiful. It's pretty dense. And so there's a lot of stitching here. It is, why don't we look up and see? Because the border, the border is pretty dense, and then a lot of the inside, it's not a lot of like individual motifs. So it is 251 by 382 for a total of, I did this last time, it's right around, I'll do the actual math, but it's right around 48,000 stitches. And so I was starting to feel not overwhelmed, but like, am I really going to be able to keep on this? And so I took 48,000 and divided it by 365. So if I stitched this piece, that's not how I did I didn't stitch on my Modern Folk Embroidery 2022 SAL every day, right? Like when the new one came out in the month, most of the time I like stitched when I was keeping along. I stitched it quick and then moved on once I was done, and it would take me about a week or so depending on how things fell to get it done, and then I'd like move on to my other projects. So I was like, well, what if I like stitched, like instead of like buckling down and like focusing hard for like the first week of every month, like what if I like paced myself a little bit more, kind of taking a lesson from the current SAL that we're doing with our countdown SAL. And the math was like 130 stitches, which for me, stitching on 40 count with one strand, and with, oh my gosh, the sewing method, that is not more than an hour of stitching, depending on how much counting is involved, and then assuming that I'm not frogging. So that just made it feel like a little bit more manageable, not quite so daunting. I don't want to use the word overwhelming, but just daunting. So you can do it too, just 131 stitches a day. So I recently showed my linen, which is Leo and Roxy porcelain, on 36 count. I think I had said 40 before. It's 36 count that I chose. I wanted to be able to stitch. I'm gonna set these down. They're gonna just keep wanting to fall. I wanted to stitch without having to wear magnification. And then I had shown last week or so my two color options. So thank you for your feedback. Those of you that commented, I was choosing between the recommended darker Great Lakes color and Seize the Day, which is just a little bit of a clearly more blue, like a brighter blue. And so I did choose Seize the Day, which I'm super excited about. So I'm ready to like fully finish kitting this up. I'm trying to decide what length of floss. I have two different size floss binders. The new one is a 12-inch. I usually use my 18-inch. So I have one project that's kitted with the shorter floss that this is my Christmas start. I want to stitch with that a little bit and then decide what length I want to do. I found that with my monochromatic 2022 Modern Folk Embroidery SAL, I got really annoyed at my short strands. But I think it might be a little bit different this time because, there's definitely like chunks of color in here, but it's primarily, I think there's going to be enough very like switching of color, that it might be okay for shorter pieces. So here is Seize the Day and Amaretto. Those are my two colors that I've chosen. So I can pull all of the Great Lakes out of my big ring of floss and put that in my stash. And then once I decide what length I want to do, I will wind those and get them ready. And then I still have to, like I talked about, copying the chart for like the decisions, so that I have a couple versions I can take notes on. That's this one. So I decided that I'm going to print that on my paper that goes in my my bound needlework press. What is that called? You know what I'm talking about. And it's like completely flown out of my brain. The calendar book thing, needlework press. Excuse me. So I'm gonna put that in there so that I have it like, and I think I'm gonna put two copies in. One is like a plan, and then one is like what I actually decide to do, or as I stitch what decisions I made. So that is a new year start for me. Some other stash I wanted to share is I don't remember if I've shown this or not. This is my Elizabeth Broadhead 1833 Fox and Rabbit. This was an exclusive to the Homespun Samplers group on Facebook. It came with these, came from the Stitching Shop. Came with these really beautiful, like, heavy duty floss tags with the colors marked on them. And then the baked clay is the fabric. It's beautiful Fox and Rabbit fabric. And then it was a combo of classic colorworks and weeks. The colors are beautiful. I don't know, like, this one is probably, I love it and I want to stitch it soon. It's probably the least on my radar, if that's a thing, of my, like, it's the lowest priority on my immediate radar, but the colors are gorgeous. And the more I look at it, I really, like, I love the teal and that blue with the pink. It's gorgeous. Like, so actually, I'm going to scroll for one hot second, because check this out. Okay, so here is, you would have to buy quite a bit of these because these are only 5 yards game. So here's Weeks Sanguine and Blue Suede, which are called fors for Elizabeth Broadhead. And then, do I have the right one? Okay. So not quite the same, but like a similar, here's Seize the Day and Amaretto. So I just thought that was interesting. So if you don't have access to Leo and Roxy, that might be an option if you can get some weeks. It's also fairly similar to Sunkissed, which is a classic colorworks tanny gold, tanny rose color. So I definitely want to, 2023, I think it will happen, barring any major distractions, but maybe not immediately on like New Year's, January start-ish time. Yeah, so the next, this one has been on my radar since, oops, there's an extra floss there I don't want to lose. So this chart, this is Maximum Cross Stitch. There is Always Room. This is Ellen's first official paid per purchase chart, sold through Evertote. It's available on her website now as a PDF. Evertote has the hard copies, and they have Leo and Roxy floss packs. This is a good, like, I think it's going to be a good stash builder chart if you choose to get the floss pack, because there's quite a bit of colors, and I don't know that all of them have a ton of stitching. That goes in them, so lots of great colors. And I picked Dirty Porcelain, so this is a 40 count Dirty Porcelain. but like there's just so many colors you can't even see them all. So that's a really great fun chart. This house is beautiful, and I've seen it stitched in person at the Evertote open house in November. I saw like the actual model that Ellen stitched. And this ochre is like the perfect variegation for the brickwork. It's beautiful. So that one is like, I think pretty for sure. Like this will be, unless I start it before New Year's, this will be my New Year's start, along with the Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along. There is a sale for this as well. Lori it is doing it, and I think Hannah, I have to look back in my Facebook for the Off the Grid Needle Arts group. That is Caroline's like Facebook group. She Hannah chose a name because Hannah's like the master namer. She is the person behind all of the punny names for the Roxy Flossco Floss. So Hannah has a hashtag that she created for the sale, so I will put that on the screen or in the description box once I look that up, but that will be my start. Some people have already started it, and like Caroline and Carrie have already started it. I think they're joining in on the sale technically, but even though they already started, there's no rules. The other one that is on, like, I need to stitch this now. Who knows if this, see, there's my math. I do this with Post-it notes. My chart math, or my, fabric size math. I saw this chart and heard that Carrie was working on a conversion. Leo and Roxy Flossco Carrie was working on a conversion for this chart. And I was like, meh, I don't know. I think for me, like, the fuchsia takes away from the, like, I don't see the design immediately. I see fuchsia. I see bright. And so, especially because I'm sure the actual model is beautiful, but just the way it's the picture, it's photographed, I didn't immediately love it. But once you really look at it, you can appreciate how gorgeous it is. And then I saw Carrie's beginning to stitch up. First, I saw the floss pack, and I was like, yes, ma'am. And then I saw Carrie stitching it. And so Between Two Whips is the floss tubes that Carrie and Caroline do together at the Evertote Notes from the Workshop channel. And so Carrie has shown that a few times on there, and it's gorgeous. The floss colors are when I show you them. So I picked 46 count porcelain. I had this in my stash from earlier this year. I will have, I think, more than enough with that. But like, this floss pack is so good. Here, I'm gonna take it out. So I like really, yeah, because I gotta take it out because there's colors here you can't see. Like this, this purpley color. What is this? Is this Vixen? Nope, Cheshire. Oh, I love Cheshire. It's one of my favorites. So Cheshire, and then with these like tealy blue greens. Oh my gosh. I just can't. I think Bird's the Word is in there. Ochre is making an appearance again. Do I see Salty Places here? So Salty Places, like a darker version of, I think I might have told you wrong in my previous video, but I think Salty Place, right, goes with these dark blues. So that really kind of gives you some perspective, like how dark Great Lakes is. When you get Salty Place in there, it's like almost black. It's so blue. So anyways, there's like Jungle Nights is in here. They're gorgeous. Gorgeous colors. They're right up my alley. So this is on my immediate radar, but I'm also nervous about starting this among all the other things because like I neglect them, and then like I feel like I'm neglecting, like I get like guilt for neglecting my pieces. So I don't know. A stitch is a stitch, right? So like you just have to make that choice if you want to. You're always like, if you're stitching, right? But like, are you making progress on a little bit of progress on a lot of pieces? Or are you making a lot of progress on a few pieces and then moving on to the next one? I haven't figured out what works for me yet, because I want to start all the things and work on all the pretty things, but I also want to touch all of my pretty things. So whip parade coming. I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So I'm hoping within that time I will have a chance to film my whip parade. I have one more. So I have been interested in these Hands Across the Sea samplers for a little while. I watched Brenda and Laura the Cereal Starter, and they stitch a lot of Hands Across the Sea. They get Hands Across the Sea patterns. I've been just intrigued, like the way the patterns come in the booklet form was interesting to me, with it bound. And so I bought two recently from Hoop and Frame that were kitted. One I'm not going to show you because it's not on my like immediate radar, but I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that one because it's with 103, the silk that comes on the spools. But I bought this one because I haven't ever done an all red sampler before, and this is Emily Ann Foster, 1892. My year of birth is 1982, and I am 40 as of a month and a half ago. So I just thought, you know, the dates were similar. This cute little sampler spoke to me, and I learned recently about what's called a blessing sampler, where you start in January and you finish by the end of the month, and it like blesses your stitching for the whole year. So of course you want to pick something fairly small and straightforward. I thought this chart would be perfect. This is kitted with Fuller's Teasel. It's a 38 count. I have no idea. It's a little creamier than what it's showing up on the camera. It's like a little creamier tanner color. I tried looking it up. I don't know what brand Fuller's Teasel is. So if you know, let me know. It came from Hoop and Frame. I don't know. Do they hand dye their own fabric? But anyways, it's hard to tell from the chart, but it's actually two shades of red. It's like a pinky red and then like a little more like red. So this is kitted up with Soie d'Alger. These are 5-meter skeins. They're a silk, and it is 946 is the darker color and 2946 is the lighter color. So I think this will be a new year, new start for me, with the goal of trying to finish by the end of January, which then deprioritizes my other like immediate radar things. I don't know. But yeah, so that's kind of my like immediate stash. The other thing, I'm so bad. The other thing that I just couldn't, so I resisted some things. I just want to put that out there into the world, that I have resisted some purchases recently. Last night on her Flossmas video, Caroline announced, I'm so excited, that she's doing another stitch along starting Valentine's Day. So they have a little floss pack. Colors look fairly similar to my Christmas start for Heartstring Samplery's Hibernation Day. So there's like green and a red and a brown and like a cinnamony color, and legendary, I think, again. Anyways, but it's C is for coffee, and it's like some like holly looking motif, and then like a coffee cup with like the swirls coming up of the steam of the coffee. It's adorable. I ordered it from Evertote last night. Well, I thought I ordered it. So funny story. I was so excited. Like I stopped what I was doing and I ordered it. I did all the things. I probably would have been like as she was talking about it, I was like frantically looking on the website for where it was. And it was actually under a new section that I didn't notice was there, called like Stitching with Caroline. And so I found it before the video was over, like did all the things, like crazy commented, like I'm so excited. And then this morning I was at work and I like went to like look something up on Chrome on my phone, and my cart was still open, and I had to like push the button, right? And I was like, I swear I did that. So I like backed out, checked my email, checked my Evertote account, which is really great with Evertote. You can see like all of the things that you've ordered. And I didn't have an order in. So I wasn't officially probably Caroline's first order, which is fine. I am still super excited about it, but I got it ordered today, even though I thought I ordered it last night. And so those aren't going to ship until next year once they're back from their holiday time off, which is fine. There's no hurry. We're not starting until February 14th, but I'm really excited to stitch along with her again. It has been fun, like checking in every day and seeing each other's progress. It's not going to be a surprise, but I think it will still be a lot of fun. So I am looking forward to that, and we'll see how it goes. She claims that she's got ideas for other charts throughout the year, so we'll see. But I love coffee, and it's been really fun following along with everyone. So I'm hoping there's a fair amount of interest in that so that we can stitch that along together. All right, I've talked a long time. I'm gonna have to film this, or I mean edit this, and also go get my puppy soon. So and then I have to pick up this mess that I now have of all my new fun things. I hope you're all well. Those of you that are getting bad weather, stay safe. If you have to go out, be safe when you travel. Take it slow. Thanks for watching. Take a minute to like and subscribe if that's something that you want to do and come back for. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Oh, it's winter solstice. Happy winter solstice. It's officially winter. It's officially the shortest day of the year. Every day after this, we're getting closer and closer to those summer days full of daylight. But I love like the coziness of this time of year, and you just try to embrace the blessing of the coziness when it's dark for a really long time, and then really enjoy the sun when there's lots more sun out. So be well, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.